I am Mexican and white.
Japanese and Native American.
African American and Belizean.
Irish and Okinawan and Japanese.
White, mostly French and German, African American and Afro-Panamanian.
Scottish and Japanese.
White and Asian and Pacific Island.
What was it like growing up having parents of two different ethnicities?
Growing up, well,
Staying with my mom predominantly more as a child. I was like grown up Catholic, and that's like a really like big like Mexican thing. Like pretty much every Mexican that I know is at least like religious in that aspect. But then like going with my dad, it was very just like, I don't know, it was very like nonchalant.
my mom's side, so my white side, I grew up Catholic. My dad's not Catholic.
White church versus black church, two very, very different experiences.
When I was younger, my mom purposefully put me into a preschool with the majority of African American kids because she knew that when I went to elementary school and like middle school that I'm going to be surrounded by people who don't exactly look like me.
I went to for preschool, middle school, all the way through until high school. I went to an all-Armenian school, so it definitely felt like I was more a part of that community for a while.
Like family gatherings were different, and the vibes were a little bit different. I was closer with my mom's side, or Japanese side, so we would go to like temples sometimes. And I thought like the expectations were higher on my mom's side because we would be compared to different Japanese families and how smart they were. And it was just really different because on my dad's side, he didn't go to college or have that high of like education, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Not a lot of people marry people that aren't their same race. I think not being able to share like what I experience at home with other people, I think that's like the biggest like tug of war, just because like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of my friends are predominantly one specific race.
I definitely have had like the questions as to am I more white or am I more Japanese, because I feel like I don't even really look one or the other necessarily. I don't think that people come up to me and like know that I'm white or know that I'm Asian. And definitely just like an internal struggle of not knowing what to identify myself as. Like even when people ask me, what am I just say my dad's Japanese, my mom is white. I never say what I am because I don't really know how to identify myself.
Feeling that you have to pick a side.
Am I more Japanese looking or am I more white looking?
I don't feel like I belong to either of them. Like when I'm with like the white community, I guess. I don't know, I don't feel connected to that at all. I don't think there like really is. I don't feel a community with that. And with the Japanese community, there's that whole feeling of not belonging just because I know I don't look Japanese and like I wasn't raised like very Japanese.
And I've never been able to feel like a truly like mixed community and feel that identity and validation.
I think the problem of not having community has improved with, you know, becoming friends with more African American people. I was already friends with a lot of Armenian people, but the problem is there's no like merger, where it feels like to fit into a community I have to again pick a community to fit into. Although there are a lot of mixed people that I know, and you know that community is still building and it's still becoming more popular in society and in the world. I think there could be more of a community in that space.
Dope.
All right, everyone double check they're rolling. Good. All right.
Good. Okay, so talking about this film specifically, I think that the reason why I wanted to make this film is because this year I've become really close with like Eva and Carson, and I realized that there is like a because when people think about like a racial community, they think that whatever race you belong to, that's your own community. And even though, you know, I can belong to the white community or the Japanese community, I also realize that there is a third community that people can be a part of.
I think like it's kind of like a lot of other communities or groups or whatever, but if there was more representation both in media and in professional environments, that would really kind of start flipping the script a bit.
I'm pretty sure like nobody else has thought about the question, what are you, or like who are you, or like what does it feel like to go to celebrate this one thing and then like the next day like a totally opposite culture. Like they've all celebrated, you know, like the same thing.
Talking about like the future, what's something like for each of you that, well, because I feel like the mixed community is not a recognized one even amongst mixed people. Like I didn't know till this year that that was a community I can turn to. And like it is a community because even though I will never know what it's like to be half white or half Mexican or half black and half white, I still understand to a degree the issues with being mixed, and like we can have those similarities and understandings even though we aren't the same races.
That's why I love having like half friends, because in that way I get like, oh, like my beauty is different and unique, but it's still like, it's there, you know? I don't have to like conform to any other standards. Like I accept like my uniqueness and like beauty. But like that's awesome, and I get that from my friends, but like from my family I get cultured in like my one side, and then I don't know, and then I use both of them to be this one mixed person, and I think it's really special, and I love that I have like that opportunity of experiencing like both sides in like a positive way, and I like to take like the best of like my both cultures and fuse into one, which is awesome.
So I ask you guys, like, what can we do to make the mixed community a recognized community amongst mixed people and amongst not mixed people?
I'm all mixed up and I'm proud of it.